Hey there, gang. This is going to be our last stop in Vermont, in beautiful Vermont. I'm just in Wolcott, Vermont, and this is a cemetery called Fairmount. And the reason that it's a little road stop pivot that I made. Didn't plan on stopping here, but there are so many amazing cemeteries. And the reason that I stopped here, that I thought it was really intriguing, is if you take a look, this goes up, up, and up. And it really keeps going up. Look at that. And we are going to go all the way up there. And maybe we'll get a good workout in and we'll take it down from there all the way to the bottom. Well, I'm not going to lie to you and say that I walked up that hill. Because the front gate is right up here. And I was able to park my rent-a-truck very comfortably, but I'm going to have to walk back up, because if I walk down, what goes down must go up. Actually, what goes up must come down, but in this case, we are going to be coming back up. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. Let's take a look at a few stones. What do you say? See some old ones here. It seems to me the older part of the cemetery started right here and worked its way to the ridge. Kind of reminiscent of Miles Cemetery in Valmeyer, Illinois. A little bit. We'll see when we get to the edge how it looks. This is Mary B., wife of George P. White. She died in August of 1868. She was only 25 years old. This is a nice stone. It has like a book or Bible on top. Isn't that beautiful? Lucinda R., wife of John H. Titus. And she passed away in 1856. Only 19 years old and 6 months. These stones are in really great shape, and these do look original. These two, yeah, I'm guessing they're original. Elmira, isn't that a great name? She was the wife of Israel Currier. She died in 1908, she was 94. So, born in the early 1800s. And here's Israel, who passed away in, looks like 1881 at 80 years old. Many, many years before Elmira. I see some veteran flags. Every cemetery. You know, I'm going to keep my eye out for flags at very old stones, and many times they'll have a plaque that'll tell us a little more. This is Nellie. She was 73 years old, dying in 1937. Here's a death in 1877 of Fred, son of the Clarks. He was only 21 years old, so sad. Frank E., son of the Clarks. He was only 19 years old. He died in 1872. So he died before his brother Fred, Frank did. This is Elizabeth E. Woodbury, who was the wife of M.H. Clark. And she passed in 1906. She was 73. And this must be Moses H. Clark. Yes. The father of the family, he passed in 1919. He was 87, so they lived a pretty good long life there, but they lost their kids early. Well, you have to wonder what happened. There were so many diseases. Tuberculosis was a big one in those years. Typhoid. Oh my gosh, there's just so many to name. Here is a veteran, 1836 to 1895. I'm guessing that Mr. Marshall was a Civil War vet. Let's straighten up the flag. And let's also take a look at, well, I'm not going to bring that up, but there's a marker there. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Lots of stones, can go on and on. Allie, only son of A.A. and Abby, 1877 to 1892. The one I wanted to look at, let's see, there was one over here, yeah. It's a small one, but it had one of those stars on it, right up here. No, it has it's actually a headstone. Let me come around this way. Louisa. It says Louisa. Well, oh, Levi Taylor and his wife, Louisa. 1841 to 1916, and Louisa was younger when she was born. She passed in 1937, many years later. So he might have been killed in World War I, 1916. Not sure. I don't think so. He was an old man by then. He was born in 1841. So probably died of old age, probably served, heck, probably Civil War. He was 20 years old-ish when the Civil War started, so let's work our way towards the ridge. What a great trip this has been. You never know. I love exploring new parts of the country. You never really know what it's going to feel like or what you're going to find. This has truly been an adventure. I always try to have a couple of missions planned out. I mean, the pivot point for this trip was Dr. Timothy Clark Smith, no doubt. And everything kind of built off there. And you guys, the viewers, with some great suggestions, like I got the vampire one, that was great. And you just pivot. I love pivoting. I love being spontaneous. And that's part of the adventure. That's part of being an adventurer, is you keep responding to what's going on around you, and you go from there. Now this is Wallace McKinstry, and he was a veteran. He died in 1913. I'm guessing, well, he was born in 1836. He would have been fairly old for the Civil War. Let's straighten this out a little bit. And it says Relief Corps. So I can't read that, but in editing, maybe you guys will all be able to read it and figure out what and when, what war. Some beautiful flowers here. Julia, his wife, passed in 1920. She was much younger, being born in 1851. That was about 15 or so years. So, rest in peace. Yeah, this is a great state, guys. And these mountains are everywhere. And you find yourself just driving through the valleys, and all the little highways that you follow, almost every one of them follows the creeks and rivers. And it's just fun to look off. You got to watch out for moose. You got to be alert. I think it's 12, oh gosh, how many? I did look it up. There are a lot of moose killed. But what I want to know is how many people lose their lives to the moose collisions here. Can someone tell us in comments? The reason I'm curious is one of my high school friends, his family was pretty much wiped out in the upstate New York area, I think, or maybe in this area, when they hit a moose at a high speed. And I think that moose, you know, they stand so high, their legs and their belly and their torso is pretty close to being where the windshield is, and it's not going to be pretty at 70 miles an hour hitting something that's 1,500 pounds through the windshield. Let's change the subject. Sorry. We're coming to the edge. We're coming to the edge here. We have some old stones. Now this is the stone that we saw, I think, from the road, or actually I think it was that stone there that we could see from the highway down below. Sabrina Bundy died in October of 1878. She was 95 years old. Now these stones, I'm not sure what they're made out of, and they look like they might be replacement stones. There's some interesting carvings. I don't know if you can see that. And the sun's at a good angle to shadow that, but it's very light etching. Died 1830. In his 20th year, it says. I think his name is, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but that has to be a replacement stone. The Ransom family we saw down in Woodstock, those were slate, black slate. Those were in pretty good condition. This is Sarah, wife of Lennox Titus. I've seen some other Tituses here. She died in 1846 at 42. All right, we are at the edge, guys. Look at this. This goes straight down. There's no walking down this part of the cemetery. We are way up here. What a stunning view. Cool bridge down there to the river. Like I say, I was telling you, there's rivers pretty much everywhere here. You get a little peek of that. Very thick woods everywhere up here. Very thick woods. Okay, I'm looking for a spot to get down. This is pretty much a vertical drop here. Oh, here we go. We are going to go this way. I was looking from below, and it looks like there are switchbacks. Yes. All right, I'm going to turn it back on when we get a little lower. Very intriguing. It's like a little bit of a hollow here. Oh, it's so beautiful. You really have to be here to get the feel. There's a couple of very small tombstones here. Just want to divert. They've got a couple of plaques. Maybe you can read that. Let's see if anything is readable. Oh, infant. That's an infant, and perhaps in editing we can read that. I can't see. I don't have my flashlight, but we've got flags here. Look at that. Let's work our way down. This is a pretty large graveyard. From the road, I thought it was just a little thing. No, sir. No, ma'am. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Look at all the pine needles. All the pine needles on the ground. It's gorgeous. Died in 1870, 18 years old. Belle S. And who we have over there, I'll do a little zoom. That looks like Allen, 1860 death. Down we go. Lower and lower. This way. Follow me. Follow me, gang. I know the way. Blind leading the blind. Yeah, this is great. Just remember, Ron, you got to get back up to the truck. That's okay. It's worth it. Some more stones here. Can't. They don't look. Doesn't look like you can read them. So I'm going to continue walking down. Down, down, down we go. It's a beautiful little path here that we're walking. How about this family plot over here on the right? Look at that. There's that monument I always talk about. Not always, but at Graceland. The vase with the cloak, the Roman cremation, of course the veil many times represents the window, as if you will, from this world to the next, the veil between. But this is, looks like Byler, B-U, no, G-U-Y-L-E-R, son of John and grandson of Luke, from Norwalk, Connecticut, settled in Wolcott, June 1788. Wow. Wow, settled. That's not born in. I'm not going to read all this, but if you want to hit pause, these are all the names and the dates of the people that are in this huge plot. A huge plot it indeed is. It's like a burial mound, actually. We go lower. Down we go. John Humphrey, 1903. And now you can see the balance of the cemetery below. All right, I'll turn it back on when I get down there. Okay, we are in the land of the grasshoppers now. Had a few land on me. Little critters. And a lot of stones, a lot of veterans. I'm heading to this pine tree. Or no, it looks like it might be a cedar. Do cedar trees grow out here? It looks like... What kind of tree is that, guys? Looks like a cedar. A lot of old stones. Maybe actually they started down here and worked their way up. More probable. Although there's some very old stones up there. (1865). 1865, what do we have over here? 1881, 1869. Have another veteran here. Sergeant. Graves. There is the medallion. Thank you for your service, all, living and dead. You're all heroes. Delia A., wife of J.A. Graves. She died in 1872. She was only 33. Wow. A lot of diseases back then, gang. A lot of diseases. Beautiful old tree here. Let's take a look at this stone. I think it says Rufus. Can't read the last name, but 1874 death. And I think he was only 20 years old. Let's straighten up the flag. There's a nice medallion on there. Oh, I'm gonna have to make a new hole for this. There we go. Perhaps, I can't read it from here, but perhaps someone can tell us. I can't read the writing. Let me try and hold that still so we get a good shot of it. There appears to be a number in the middle, but I'm not sure. I'd love to know. Oh, darn, here's another one. It's knocked over. It's also bent. Oh, it's plastic. So, oh, this whole thing is pretty far bent. I don't know if we can fix that. Yeah. That'll work. Oh, it says U.S. It's upside down. It just says U.S. veteran. U.S. veteran. Jeremiah Walker, soldier in War of 1812, 1794 to 1894. 100 years old. 100 years old, guys. Wow. Well, I could go on and on. I'll tell you. The stones just continue on and on. Look at that. But no, alas, we're going to call it right here. It has been great here in Vermont. I had a great time. Got a lot of great suggestions. Thanks again on that. And boy, you got to come here. The land of the Green Mountains, the land of the, what I say, as I said, I keep saying the steeples. Every village has a beautiful church or two with huge steeples, and all the little highways, the little 2-lane roads follow the creeks and rivers. It's so beautiful. Beautiful people here too. We've been treated really, really well. So anyway, that's it. I'm heading home to Chicago. Thanks for coming along. It's been a great trip, and we'll do some more of these. Stay safe.